Okay, let's go to Dismayed in Mason, Michigan. And Dismayed writes, we took out a second mortgage on our home in 2005. In 2008, my husband and I had to file bankruptcy. It was a hard year for a lot of people.
Yeah, it was.
It was. Last month, we went to go refinance our home, and the 2005 mortgage is still on the property. My loan officer says we have to pay off the mortgage. How can that be when we were discharged from the bankruptcy? What can we do about this? Dismayed in Mason, Michigan. So for all of the baby millennials watching out there, 2008, 2009, that was when everything crashed, the global economic crisis, and so a lot of people were in this boat, like Dismayed in Mason. So what can they do if the loan officer says that the mortgage is still valid from 05?
Okay, so first of all, you see the trend in all these questions this week, right?
Mm-hmm.
They're all real estate refinance, sales,
Mm-hmm.
title issues.
Yep.
Interesting. It just shows there's a lot of activity in the market right now. Well, I think that honestly, I forgot the question, Blair. We're gonna have to edit it out. I forgot the answer.
No, that's okay. It's okay.
We gotta edit this. Edit this. Okay. Ask the question again. Sorry.
We can start all over again.
Okay. I apologize. We're so close to home. All right. Edit. Go ahead.
It's okay. We can timestamp this at 8 p.m. and David goes to bed at 8:16. So it's 16 minutes to bedtime.
Okay. All right.
All right, we'll start all over again.
Sorry, I'm so sorry.
No, you're all right.
We've never done that before. I've never done it. I just had a complete.
No, you've never done that, and my children have never burst in the room. So,
okay.
Is there a full moon?
No,
tonight?
I don't know.
Is there a full moon going on?
No. Okay, sorry.
Okay. All right.
What was the question? Let's start over.
Yeah. So the question is, I'll read it and then we'll role play it. They had a second mortgage on their home in 2005, and then in 08 they both filed bankruptcy.
Oh.
They went to refinance a month ago, and the 05 mortgage is still on the property. So that is a second mortgage, they said.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
And then the loan officer is telling them they have to pay off that mortgage. The person that's doing the refi. Okay. All right, let's answer that again.
We're talking about you're talking about the 2008 meltdown, the Great Recession, and my mind went like.
No, I know. I shouldn't have been ejected.
That was so impactful for so many people. Okay, so I definitely know what happened here to these poor people. It's pretty straightforward. So they
let me reread it as though we're starting the question over again.
Okay, go right ahead.
She can crop it right here.
Okay. Or we can leave it in like a blooper.
It could be in your bloopers reel.
Mm-hmm.
All right, next we have from Dismayed in Mason. And Dismayed writes, we took out a second mortgage on our home in 2005. In 2008, my husband and I had to file bankruptcy. Last month, we went to go refinance our home, and the 2005 mortgage is still on our property. My loan officer says that we have to pay off the mortgage, but how can that be when we were discharged from the bankruptcy? What can we do about this? From Dismayed in Mason.
Well, it's pretty clear that, so what these folks did was, in 2008, when we had the global recession, they filed bankruptcy. They had the liens on the property. Bankruptcy will absolve so long as you're discharged, you've done everything that you're supposed to do pursuant to the bankruptcy requirements, you get a discharge from the bankruptcy court under federal law. Pardon me, that bankruptcy discharge discharges you from the personal debt obligations that you have, so to your creditors. So the mortgage actually remains still on the home. Okay, so these people don't have an obligation under a promissory note. They don't have to pay. but the mortgage is still on the property. So at the time that they go to pay it off, that mortgage needs to be paid off, okay? Because that lien remains.
I see. So they don't have to pay the debt service, but they
That's
will have to
Pay
fulfill
off
the
the
lien
mortgage.
obligation when
That's
they
correct.
sell or refinance.
Correct.
Okay.
It stays on the lien remains on the home.
Okay.
Unless it was, now there's a whole other area of bankruptcy law, unless that lien is stripped off by a good bankruptcy attorney. And right now, with equity being the way it is, the values of the homes are there. There's a whole thing called stripping a lien. You have to have no equity left in a property on a subordinate lien to strip the lien from the home. So a second lien will remain on the home right now. The mortgage remains on the home. These folks have not been asked to pay for it personally, meaning they don't have a personal monthly obligation to pay for it. However, when the mortgage is refinanced or the property is sold, the lien holder still gets their money.
Okay.
They get what's going to them. So that's why it still shows up. So right now, I don't want to get too much into the pandemic, but right now, property values are still pretty good. But for a while, between 2008 and like 2015, property values were still like everything was like oatmeal. It was like a malaise, not much happening. So those liens just sat there, and lien holders who were still in business really didn't do anything to the homeowners because they couldn't go after. You can't foreclose on it. You can, well, you can actually foreclose on the mortgage, but you know, if there's no equity, the home values weren't really going up. Now, after 2014, property values start going up. Guess who these homeowners start hearing from? All the old lien holders to negotiate. Hey, you know, the lien holder picks up the phone, the creditor calls, goes, hey, you always have a mortgage on your home. Did you want to renegotiate that? They don't have to. The homeowner doesn't have to because they were discharged. They're absolved from that debt, but the lien remains. Okay?
I see. Okay. No, that's good to know. That I learned something completely brand new today. I don't really know how bankruptcy works really at all, other than like just the superficial basic knowledge of it. Right. But that makes sense though, because you could file for bankruptcy and then later down the road, if that wasn't in place, refinance or sell and just scoop up all of that equity for yourself. That's right. That just seems very, very economically damaging. So, okay, that's news to me. All right, well, Dismayed and Mason, there you go. There's your answer. That's pretty cut and dry. That might be the most cut and dry answer. Question
right.
of the entire set.
Right. Well,
maybe the last few months.